Excellent morning, sir. Our global president of the global clusters. I greet you, sir. Happy New Week.
To you all. It's a beautiful Monday. It's mind surgery revolution. And we're saying instead of NSAS, instead of end bad governance, let's engage in the mind surgery revolution. Before our before our guest speaker comes on board, let us have the mind surgery revolution video. Let's go live on all of our platform and let's have the mind surgery revolution video. Over to you.
Yes, sir. We are live on YouTube.
Welcome to the Mind Searcher Revolution by the Global Clusters. This movement is all about transforming your inner world, mental resilience, cognitive wellness, and overcoming the barriers within. At Global Clusters, we believe in the power of introspection and self-awareness to heal, elevate, and empower. Through emotional intelligence and growth, we can unlock potential, face life's challenges with clarity and strength. Think about it. Leaders today are overwhelmed by expanding expectations and digital distractions. But by prioritizing core values and focusing on what truly drives us, we can navigate this complex world with ease. The history of neurosurgery, with pioneers like Carl Jung, is similarly, the mindset revolution invites you to revolutionize your mindset, just as brain surgery has revolutionized treatment. Even brain-computer interfaces are showing us the limitless potential of the brain's plasticity. But it's not just about technology. Holistic health approaches, like those from Dr. Rangan Chatterjee, emphasize the crucial connection between mind and body. Transform your mind, transform the world. Be part of the mind surgery revolution by joining us at theglobalclusters.org. Stay tuned for updates, events, and tools to elevate your mental resilience and well-being. Every meeting matters. Don't miss your chance to grow.
Every meeting matters. Don't miss your chance.
Every meeting matters. Don't miss your chance to grow with us. I'm super excited for everyone listening to us. You know, it's a special mind surgery day. Today is equally Cluster and Abraham's birthday. That is the child that confirmed me a father. It's um it's a beautiful one. As the global president of the global clusters, I want to appreciate everyone on this call and everyone that will be watching this. We have all started something very big together, and everyone that have been sacrificing to make this a reality. I celebrate you. I celebrate what you represent. I celebrate what you are becoming. Already, a lot of us have been seeing the future of what we have started. A lot of us have been seeing that this is a big one. This is not small. This is not a joke. This is not a play. This is not a play. This is not a joke. This is not mere saying. This is the real deal. And a lot of things is giving me different kind of excitement. You see the GCA that we just tested on Saturday. The excitement that is giving me is too much. I've been in a meeting for more than almost an hour now on it, and I will not want anyone to miss this. The surgeon of the day. Well, while we wait for the surgeon of the day to come on board, that is Sparky Dennis. I want Clusterano Luca to write him. You understand on the spark up. So while we wait for him, I would want to just address us briefly on the on this my surgery this morning, there are situations and events that actually perform surgery on us. I can see the latest couple too, that is Clusterian Williams, you know, is the latest Mr. in our midst in the global cluster community. Congratulations to you. You know, very soon he's going to be a father too. And that is something that we are all happy about. Virtually everyone on this call now, they are all fathers, and they know what it means. But it's a thing of a joy, and it also comes with its own responsibility. A quick one for everyone listening to me right now is that when an opportunity comes, opportunity equally performs surgery on you. Opportunity has a way of performing surgery on you. And as I was talking, I can see the grand entrance of the 001 Global Security Cluster of the Global Clusters, Chief Sir Colonel Michael Bengaushen, retired.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Excellent morning to you. Thanks for all you do. My big amount. Thanks for all you do to contribute positively to humanity.
Absolute pleasure to be a member, a contributing member to the global clusters. And a very good morning to yourself.
Thank you very much. So it's mind surgery, and I was talking about how opportunities can. Before the surgeon of the day will soon be coming in. Please let's write him. That is Dennis. Sparky Dennis is the one that is supposed to be the surgeon of the day. But while we wait for Sparky Dennis to join us and share on the topics that we have today, you understand, the topic of the day is a very interesting one. So, which I want him to just dive into it so that we will discuss it. But I just want to share this immediately, how opportunities can be surgery to you. The opportunity of the GCA, actually perform some sort of surgery on me. You understand? Personally, even as the global president, you understand? And I see how when you keep doing what you're doing and people see your activeness, how they would throw opportunity to you. Sometimes you might be doing it and you might see that how many people are even around me? You don't know. The algorithm does not see it like that. As we keep posting, the algorithm is noticing. It's noticing. As we keep going on YouTube, as we keep designing videos, as we keep sharing it, as we keep doing it, the algorithm is picking it. If you Google Master Genie today, you will see a lot about the global clusters on him. You understand? As a matter of fact, when Master Genie told the government of the United Kingdom that I'm a volunteer with the global clusters, nobody argues it with him. Nobody said, no, you say you are a volunteer. Because if they ask AI will tell them what Master Genie is doing. If anybody that is, for instance, let me say Farex said, oh, I'm equally a volunteer and the 001 of the moral, the 360 and beyond moral and all of that. You will see that the algorithm, and that is why I want you to understand that all of these things are actually opportunity. And thank God Clusterian Williams is listening to me. I observe that it's most of the time it's only the mind surgery that you come up and all of that. But don't joke with this great opportunity to be part of what we are doing. As I was talking, I want to stop here because the surgeon of the day is here, and that is Sparky Dennis. And I will want you to know, just take that every opportunity you have to speak. I get what I'm trying to say. The way it is now, if you Google Sparky Dennis' name, now you will be seeing the mind surgery that he's been doing. And that is the thing. It's an opportunity for you. So opportunity can perform surgery on you and can give you the right influence. Having said that, Sparky Dennis, we're here today to learn from you. We've been learning from you, and you are a great. The first time you spoke on the mind surgery, everyone said they wanted you again. Even me, I wanted you as if you should be one of the major anchor of the mind surgery revolution. You know how to actually perform surgery on people's mind. And today, we are ready to learn from you. So I saw Ambassador Abosede as we was talking the 001 real estate cluster of the global clusters. You know, we're still together yesterday somewhere up to almost the midnight. You're welcome, ma'am. So, having said that, Sparky Dennis, thank you for coming. I want to hand over the baton to you right now.
Thank
We
you
are
very
ready to
much.
learn. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. I'm not sure whether you are hearing me correctly and
Loud and
clearly.
clear. Loud and clear. You are
And
very
that the
audible.
video is also okay.
Very okay. Very okay.
Thank you very much. I've been
We are
struggling
seeing your
with
handsome
connection.
face with your
Oh, thank you.
headsets.
Thank you very much. I was struggling with setup issues, electricity and network. But then now I think I'm linked in so well. Yes, good morning once again. You're still getting me clearly?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you very much for this opportunity to once again be a surgeon of the day. My name is Dennis Otieno, a development communications practitioner and behavioral change practitioner based in Kenya with a bias towards information documentation, packaging, and dissemination. In that respect, I make project documentaries, infographics, and also engage in other communication disciplines in capturing and telling development stories and their best practices for shared learning. I'm also a communications lead at the DTT, which in full means development, learning, and tracking tools. In short, this is a digital diary that helps you track daily events and gives you insights on your performance. For more, kindly visit the website at www.developmenttrackingtools.com. Now, moving on to what we are supposed to do today. Today, we are discussing removing toxic dynamics and rewiring for mutual respect. Removing toxic dynamics from our relationships. So it is relational detox. Now, before I go further, let me pass apologies from Sparky 002 Susan, Dr. Susan, who is now attending some exams. She said she might get us late or she will follow through YouTube recording. Good. Now we want to look at relational detox, where we are going to remove toxic dynamics from and rewire our relationships for mutual respect. So this is also another very wide topic, and I think today we are just going to deal with part one. And then if we get a chance for another day, then we will look at part two. But part one, we are going to identify the toxic dynamics, then understand the conditioning, and also how to build the self-awareness. That is what we are going to look into. Then when we get a chance for part two, we may look at how we can do it practically in our relationships at home and also at workplaces. Thank you very much. Now, before we begin, I want all of you who are listening and also who are watching to do something simple. Now, think of one relationship in your life, professional or personal, that feels slightly difficult. Think of one relationship you are involved in your life, whether professional or personal, that feels slightly difficult. Now, it should not necessarily be dramatic, not even broken, but just consistently draining or limiting or imbalanced. Think of that relationship for a while, hold it in your mind. Okay? Think of it, hold it in your mind. That relationship is disturbing you in a way, hold it in your mind. Then now consider this. In behavior change work, we often assume people resist change because they don't understand. People resist change because they do not understand. But what if the real barrier is this? What if the real barrier is this, that the relationship through which change is happening is not healthy enough to sustain it? Perhaps you are not just afraid of change, but then it is the relationship through which you think the change is happening, is not healthy enough to sustain it. So as we discussed today, don't just evaluate the ideas, but evaluate the patterns in those relationships. I like patterns because patterns, they're usually what in most areas people call red flags. You see them, you notice them, but you ignore. They are patterns. So what is relational detox? This is a process of cleaning up those toxic patterns. This is a process of cleaning up those patterns through which you relate with others. So every relationship you are in operates on patterns. Some patterns will build you up, while some patterns will slowly erode your dignity or even the relationship as a whole. So over time, relationships accumulate: 1, unspoken resentments, misaligned expectations, and 3, repeated micro disrespects. Micro disrespect. Somebody insults you, you smile, it goes away. Another one does something, you smile, it goes away. Those are just micro disrespects. So detox here then will mean you learn to notice what is unhealthy, interrupt it, and then replace it with something more intentional, something that is more positive. We are now doing this detox. Detox means you learn to notice what is unhealthy and interrupt it, then replace it with something more intentional. You do not experience relationships as isolated moments. You experience them as patterns. Relationships are not isolated moments. So do not mistake an isolated moment and think that is a pattern. But if it reoccurs, and it reoccurs again, then it now performs some kind of a pattern. So in a case of, we can look at an example and say, consider this scenario. You are in a meeting where a colleague is repeatedly interrupted. At first, it seems minor. Every time this colleague or these colleagues are trying to talk, they're interrupted. They're interrupted. So you never really get to know what they wanted to present. So at first it seems minor, but over time, they contribute less and less. Eventually, they disengage because they feel every time I'm trying to talk, I get disrupted. Every time I try to talk, they disrupt me. They don't want to listen to me. So over time, these people stop contributing. Eventually, they disengage. They never talk again in that meeting. So now reflect. Did the system correct itself, or did everyone adapt to the dysfunction? That is now what we have to look at in that kind of a scenario. Is everybody adapting to that dysfunction, or the system itself is correcting itself, interrupting this person to a point that they no longer participate? They come into a meeting, they just keep quiet, listen, go away. Come in, keep quiet, listen, go away. So the relational detox begins the moment you stop normalizing what is clearly misaligned. The moment you stop normalizing all those red flags, all those misalignments in a relationship, then the detox begins. So detox dynamics and rewiring, are repeated patterns that consistently undermine trust, voice, and balance in a relationships. These are toxic dynamics. Toxic dynamics, repeated patterns that consistently undermine trust, voice, and balance in a relationship. Not one-off incidents, but recurring behaviors, such as dismissing somebody. Another one is trying always to be the one controlling somebody. Avoidance, You know, some people just avoid you. You're in a relationship, but they just avoid you. Then there's also the emotional imbalance. And the emotional imbalance here is very, very rampant, especially in personal relationships, where you just always want to make somebody feel guilty. You want to make them emotionally drained so that you feel your power over them. So the key thing here is, do not evaluate toxicity by intensity. It doesn't have to be intense, but evaluate it by consistency. How much does it repeat itself? Then you are going to know this toxicity. How much does it repeat itself? Now, a case in reflection, in a project setting, for example, as professionals, you are running a project, then you are there with the community members, they're attending the meetings, but they rarely contribute. They come, they listen to you, you talk, everything is agreed on, everybody goes away, okay? At first, you might think that it is low engagement, but look deeper. When you look deeper, you realize you dominate the meetings. You come there as the boss. Or if you're working for an NGO, you come here, we are the NGO, we are the ones with the solutions and the gifts to give the community. So we are the ones to talk. Yours is to sit there, listen, and then we disperse. Then you realize you dominate the meetings and give them less chance to talk. Their views are never acknowledged much, and the decisions are made before consultations. So what you are seeing is not disengagement. What you are seeing is relational response to being unheard. They just come, they let you talk, then they go away. So it is actually a sign that something is wrong. These people are not disengaging. They are engaging, but they are not giving you their mind. They are not giving you their expectations. They are not telling you anything at all. They just listen to you and they go. So that relationship is actually a one-way relationship. So, and rewiring is needed. So what is rewiring? Rewiring is the process of changing how you think, how you interpret, how you respond within these relationships. You'll study the relationship, you notice the pattern, you stop the pattern. Now, you start thinking, changing how you think. You change how you interpret everything, and also how you respond. And this can't happen unless you critically look at this relationship that we are talking about. So this is critical, that most of your relational responses are not chosen. They are conditioned. Most of your relational responses are not chosen, they are conditioned. Mostly, how you respond to a relationship is shaped by past experiences and not conscious choice of the moment. It is past experience that makes you start feeling like, okay, whenever I want to talk, they dismiss me, so let me just keep quiet. In other words, you've already assumed that you are going to be dismissed even before the dismissal comes, and you shut down. So that is something that happens a lot. Now, through repetition, your mind builds automatic responses to avoid conflict, to seek approval, or to maintain control. All this is done based on what felt safe or effective. Yeah, your mind builds automatic responses to avoid conflicts, seek approval, or maintain control based on what you feel safe or effective. So when something happens, you often react from habit and not from intention. From habit and not from intention. And rewiring, therefore, begins when you pause, notice the pattern, and choose a different response. In other words, you don't keep quiet. You choose a different and active response. For example, you may recognize this pattern that you normally avoid speaking up. Then you tell yourself, this is just not worth the conflict. So I avoid conflict, so I don't speak. Yeah. But as you do that more and more, it becomes an outcome. It becomes a pattern. So your silence then gets interpreted as agreement. Your silence gets interpreted as agreement. Then the pattern continues, yet it is hurting you. That the other party feels, since you always keep quiet, then you are okay with it. Then you've said yes, and it is good. Let me just continue. But in the real sense, inwardly, you are suffering. So rewiring begins when you shift from this automatic silence to intentional, active, and positive response. You must no longer keep quiet. Rise up and talk, but be strategic. It has to be active, it has to be respectful, okay? And it has to be intentional, it has to be positive, so that it also builds the relationship, not just to satisfy your ego, but to build the relationships, okay? You could say that instead of keeping quiet, for example, you could say, I see it differently. May I also add my perspective? You've talked, yes, I see you, I hear you, I understand you, but I am viewing it differently. So hear me, I want to say my perspective. This is what I want to say. So over the time, initially, when you talk, it is going to feel uncomfortable. Very, very uncomfortable. Because you're not used to talking and presenting your side of view. But over time, the system that had been built begins to adjust to you. Because the system now starts to notice that you are also a member of the relationship. You have your views, you have your perspectives, you have your feelings, some of which even helps the system itself to grow. So it is important that you don't keep quiet. You do rewiring. You start talking. You start engaging actively. Okay? You start bringing in your perspective in a respectful manner. And then the system starts slowly to adjust to it. So rewiring works because behavior shapes or reshapes belief. Okay? And not the other way around. Rewiring works because behavior reshapes belief and not the other way around. So again, I will still reiterate that when you talk about removing toxic dynamics and rewiring for mutual respect, you are actually saying that you stop participating in patterns that diminish the relationship and you begin practicing behaviors that restore balance, dignity, and respect. When we are removing toxic dynamics and rewiring to respect, we mean that you stop participating. Remember, you are also participating. You are not a participant. So you stop participating in patterns that diminish relationship, and you begin practicing behaviors that restore balance, dignity, and respect. Or simply, you stop what weakens the relationship and build what strengthens relationship. So let us see, why do you stay in toxic relationships or even environment? Why do we stay in them? Why do we stick in them? Unfortunately, I always hear people say that in marriage relationship, for example, if you allow me to say, people always say that that person who is always beaten is the one who stays, and the one who is never beaten and is listened to and is pampered always walks away. So some people are taking this and misunderstanding it and now using it to promote domestic violence. Okay? But then, if you look at the victims or survivors of domestic violence, you are going to realize there is something makes them stay in this toxic relationship. What makes them stay? what makes you stay in a toxic relationship, be it physical violence or any other kind of violence, even at work where the pay is not good, but you're not allowed to talk about it. What makes you stick there where the pay is not good and you're not allowed to talk about your salary increase, for example? Okay, now let us reflect honestly. Look at your personal life and whichever relationship you reflected at the beginning of our talk. Look at it. Ask yourself, why do you remain in that relationship, yet it is not serving you? Why do you remain in patterns that do not serve you? Now, the common reasons. Hello?
Yeah, can still hear you.
Are you getting me?
Yep.
Yes, something is vibrating. I think there's some microphone which is on.
Yes, you are clear now.
Yes.
But
Okay, thank you.
initially, I thought your cables, because I'm a tech person, the cable of your microphone is actually disturbing. You understand? Maybe you speak directly to the there's an interference. Okay, it's
actually,
okay
I'm
now.
using the internal mic. I'm not even using a cable mic.
No.
Okay, now
the about
okay.
Are you getting there's an interference.
Okay, are you getting it
and
now
I'll
clear?
urge everyone to mute themselves. So, all right, go ahead now.
Okay, now we were looking at why are we stuck in toxic relationships?
Good.
Yes, why are you stuck there? Think of the relationship we talked of at the beginning. I said, can you reflect on a relationship, personal or otherwise, that has been disturbing you for a while, yet you're still in it? So go back to it again now and ask yourself, why do you remain in this kind of patterns that do not serve you? Why do you remain in this relationship? Think for a while and answer yourself. But then these are the common reasons why we remain in toxic relationships. 1, familiarity feels safer than change. Familiarity feels safer than change. Some wise men somewhere said, better the devil you know than the angel you don't. So this devil keeps hitting you, but because you know this devil and you're so familiar with this devil, you have molded yourself to a point that you just accept what they bring in, you swallow it, and you say, I don't like conflict, I just kept quiet. But internally, you are hurting. Second point, why you remain in toxic relationships, you want to avoid disruptions. There is a way this relationship is flowing that you do not want to disrupt. You just want things to continue that way, which again leads to familiarity. Yeah, you are avoiding disruptions. Then the third point is you hope things will improve without intervention. Hope. For Christians, do not attack me. I know Christianity is based and built on hope. Okay, but it is active hope. In this one, you are just hoping that this person will change. And this person is never changing because this person also thinks your silence is approval. So you see, this is not active hope. It is passive hope. Active hope that Christianity talks about ensures or demands that you also participate in removing toxins, which in God's language are called sins. In this language, scientific language, we are saying they are toxins. Yeah. So you hope things will improve without intervention. There is no day things will improve if you are never active, if you're not assertive, if you're not going to say, no, here you are pinching me, you are not actually holding me, or here you are squeezing me, my hand painfully instead of greeting me. Just have a good handshake. You must come out and talk. But the deeper inside is this. You are not only experiencing the pattern, you are also sustaining it. Okay? You're not just experiencing it, you are also sustaining it. And the case in example is you feel undervalued in a team. but you never express your expectations. You do not even, you continue to over-deliver, okay? You're delivering so much, so much, hoping things will improve. But you keep feeling you are being undervalued. Why? Because you never express your expectations. So the system or the partner or the friend learns that this is acceptable to you. In fact, soon they even want you to over-deliver excess because they know that this is now what you are. Okay? So in systems, what you tolerate becomes normalized. Just know that anywhere in the world, anywhere, even in your own house, what you tolerate becomes normalized. If you tolerate bedbugs, they'll infest the entire room. If you tolerate even rats, they will infest the entire house because they know we are safe here. These human beings never even chases us away. There's no fumigation being done. If you tolerate being slapped, you will be slapped more. Okay? If you tolerate being mocked, you get mocked, you smile, you go away, you will be mocked more. But internally, you are hurting. Okay? So we need to do rewiring. So what is actually rewiring? This is the internal shift. It begins with self-awareness. If we remember our lesson the other time, self-awareness, okay? You must look deep into this relationship. You must look into yourself. Ask yourself your expectations, your strengths, your weaknesses, your pains, your sorrows, your joy. You are looking into yourself. Notice the pattern. Step number one is notice the pattern. Okay? Ask yourself, where do I normally withdraw? Where do you overcompensate? Where do you control? Okay? You are asking yourself these things. People are expecting me to over-deliver. Why? Where do I over-deliver? Why is it that I'm the only one whose pay is never rising? Okay? Why is it that I'm the only one who is never getting XYZ from the relationship? Okay? Then step number two, question the belief behind it. Question the belief behind it. For example, if I speak, I will lose this relationship. But is it true that if you speak, the relationship will end? It might not be true. And in most cases, it is never true. This is just how things are. You know, and the most common excuse people always give. Things are just like that. Things are just like that. These people are always just like that. Okay? They hurt you, but you dismiss and protect them by saying they are always just like that. Oh, he's always just loud. Oh, he's always so abusive. You know, if you talk, he might throw in some abuse. Because you are sustaining it, he is doing it more. Step number three, change your response. Be not dramatic, be not melodramatic, and be not dramatic, but be deliberate, be positive, and be respectful. If you have been avoiding something, don't avoid it. Step into it, be clear, be respectful. Okay? Express yourself clearly. Do not avoid anything. That is step number three. Change your response. Okay? For example, you may recognize this, that you always laugh. You always laugh and giggle when you're disrespected. Not because it is funny, but because it infuses tension. It diffuses tension. And it protects you. But rewiring begins when you pause and say, I'd prefer to finish my point. Yes, much as you're mocking me, but I would prefer to take this time and finish my point. Yeah, your voice may shake a bit because you're not used to it, but something will shift. Okay? You gather the evidence that speaking does not destroy connection. Okay? Speaking does not destroy connection. You will realize that when you start speaking, they start listening. When you assert yourself, they also pause. They will be wondering, hey, this person is always timid. Today he has got the energy to rise up. And when they pause to look at you, hit them with respectful facts, without disrespecting them and without being condescending. Okay? And then they will realize there is something in you worth the relationship. That moment is critical. You are updating your internal mode of relationships. I know we are almost winding up. Let us look at building mutual respect. And now, respect is not abstract. No. It is not abstract. It is not even just a feeling. Respect is behavioral. It is behavioral. You build respect when you listen without interruption. You build respect when you acknowledge perspectives. You build respect when you set and you honor boundaries. Okay? And you build respect, and a lot of it, when you communicate directly. You will build a lot of respect. So therefore, do not measure respect by intention. But in this sense, measure respect by repeated behavior. Okay? Repeated behavior. Because actually, repeated behavior will tell you the inner feelings and the intentions. So for those who are in like me, who are in development communication, this is quite important because you need strategic insight. You must know that in your work, if there is no trust, there will be no uptake of ideas. If there is no respect, there will be no participation. If there is no relational safety, then there will be no sustainable change within the communities where you serve. So in development communication, you do not need to develop any toxic relationships at all. Respect is very, very important. So just reflect that when people resist your message, they are not rejecting the message. They are responding to the relationship. So don't feel that they rejected my message. No. In most cases, they just responded to the relationship. It has not been good. It has not been mutual. It has not been respectful. It has been toxic. So they rejected you and not the message. So let us also have some practical reflection again. Return back to the relationship you thought about earlier, and now ask yourself, what patterns define that relationship? What patterns define that relationship? What is your role in sustaining it? What is your role in sustaining it? How have you been sustaining it? Then number 3, what is one small behavioral shift you can make? What is one small behavioral shift you can make? Focus on what is within your control, okay? Focus on what is within your control, not what is on the other party's control. What is within your control, because you are focusing on how you have been sustaining this relationship. Don't focus on the other person's control, but what you can control to start changing things. Now, at this level, the difference you make will not come from what you know alone, but from you, what and how you relate. At this level, the difference will not come from what you know alone, but from how you relate. Because every systems you influence, every system you influence, whether community, institutional, or team, mirrors the patterns you bring into it. Every system you influence mirrors the patterns that you bring into it. So the real work is not only to design better interventions, but to become more aware, to be more aware participants in the relationships. Can you be more aware in that relationship? Don't just let the relationship carry you drifting along like a piece of wood floating with the floods going away. Be a participant. Be more aware in that relationship. that carries you. And when you are more aware, then the relationship will start to change. And when the relationships change, behaviors also follow. When relationships change, behavior also follow. And when behaviors change, then impact becomes sustainable. When behaviors change, impact becomes sustainable. There ends my presentation of part 1. I think part 2, we will be looking at how intentionally you can design, practice, and sustain relationships rooted in mutual respects at personal level, team level, or even systems level. That is what we will look at in part 2. So this part 1, we've just been defining the toxins and seeing how they come into our relationships and what we need to do. But then now, part 2, we are going to look at a more practical approach on how you can intentionally design, practice, and sustain relationships rooted in mutual respect. Thank you very much. Back to you again.
Hello, Sparky Dennis, can you hear me? Hello.
Hello, sir. It's breaking. I think you have to go out and come back in.
Me?
No, not you, Sparky Dennis. Dr. Badmos.
Okay.
Yes, yours is clear. His is, I don't know, it's breaking.
Yes, I can hear it happening.
Hello, Dr. Badmos. It's breaking, sir. You need to go out and come back in. Yes, sir.
Apologies, I think the global president is having a network glitch.
Okay.
Yes.
I think his network is bad. We have 7 minutes to go. So I wouldn't know if there's anyone who has a question or have questions. Okay, I think we can hear you clearly, Dr. Badmos. Yes, sir. Your network is bad. It's breaking. I said you should go out. Try going out, sir, and maybe you should just return. All right. Sir Michael Oshin, please, sir, do you have something for us? And let Ambassador Bosedeko get set in a minute or two. All right, so we don't go beyond our time. All right.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Sparky Dennis, that was absolutely fantastic. I enjoyed your submission just now. Very, very meaningful and very insightful. And I'm going to agree with quite a few of the points that you made. You know, all of this, a lot of this comes down to positive thinking. You know, when we are positive in our thoughts, a lot of the things that you have highlighted this morning come into play. And this is one of the things that I would really and truly love all Sparkies and all global clusterians to hang on to. You know, it's not just a case of everyone looking for money. It's mostly a case of, you know, you have an idea, you run with it. You know, you made a point about Christians. You know, they live a life of hope. You know, and I actually said this 2 days ago in my security mind surgery about the way, especially Christians, think. You know, everyone seems to live a life of God will do it, God will do it. But they forget that that same Bible that tells you God will do it also tells you that he will do it, but only after you started it. And this is why your message this morning is so on point. And I thank you very, very much for that submission.
Thank you very much. Welcome. Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Sparky Dennis.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, sir. I'm
Good morning,
Ambassador Abosede. Thank you so much
yes.
for such a wonderful presentation. Good morning, Dr. Michelle Oko. Hope you are doing fine, ma'am. We miss you so much. Good morning, Fares, Master Jeannie, Sir Michael, everybody on call this morning, my doctor, Adekunle Badmus. I always look forward to hearing from you. Unfortunately, when it got to that most sensitive part that I actually love to hear, my network threw me out and I had to battle again to come back, and you've left that place. Please, sir. The issue you are talking about this morning is a very sensitive one. I am glad they brought you back, because I was one of those that requested that we want to hear more. There's still some areas you need to be shedding more light on. Every one of us have one way or the other where the shoe pinches us, you know, in our relationships, personal, official. You just find out that personally, like me, I've come across relationships, even personally, that dealt with me a blow. You know, even when I thought I was trying everything, and you found out you got to a situation, a crossroads situation, where you don't know where to go, neither to go left nor to go right. And at that particular time, all that keeps you is just your faith. What you're holding on is your God and your faith. And when I review all these relationships, I found out that 80% of it, I have been good to people. I have learned my art to help people, including my own personal man. I did everything possible to make sure that people succeed, contributed prayerfully, financially, you know, in everything, patiently. But I just found out that at a particular time, you just see that people still go back to treat me or to treat you as if you are the bad or you are not good or this or that. So I kept on wondering in life, and sometimes I felt, is it because of the part of Nigeria that I came from the tribe I came from? Is that how they behave? I was born in Delta State. I schooled there, partly there and partly Yoruba land, and my higher institution Yoruba land. And so I felt like, is it because of this side of my world that is like this? Sometimes love has not been really there for me. Even when I gave all, people paid back somehow. And I began to look at it. Is it really me that is at fault? So when you got to that part where you said, you know, some people, you'll be talking, they just want to hear from you, but they are not actually contributing. And something struck my heart that perhaps that was one of the mistakes I made in life. I never knew the boundary. I never knew when to keep quiet, you know, especially when I trust somebody and I open up my mind to that person. And I found out that I've seen these traces. I've seen it, but I didn't just observe it. How I wish I've learned from someone like you before then. Like, be telling someone about my life and trying to see if the person can advise or help out, and you just find out that people just keep quiet and not really saying anything, not contributing, but still want to be hearing. And it's just dawned on me as you have spoken this morning that, oh, does it mean that area I really start myself at the back because I experienced that so much? So I'll be happy, sir. If briefly, I know the time is fast spent, you can just shed more light on for that, because I lost the my network, you know, threw me out there. Thank you, sir, for such a wonderful job you are doing. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Just to allow me to interject briefly, thank you very much. You've talked about a wide range of experiences. I am sorry for the pinches you've gone through. I really do not think it is from your tribal background or your geographical background, but what I'm coming to learn, because I've also experienced some of these things, what I'm coming to learn is that there are people, like I remember when in high school, our teacher told us that the world is unfair. The world is unfair. God gave us Jesus Christ for free. Jesus raised the dead, but the world killed him and sent him back home. So we always start from there. The world is unfair. And there are so many people who've got that very sharp eye to notice who is good and who is willing to give beyond the boundaries. Then those people will always come closer to you and they will enter within your circles just to get that good. They're like human beings who go into the forest to hunt the antelopes. They're not part of the forest life, but they pretend to be part of the forest life. They get the meat, come rush back home. So this is what you've been experiencing. And it is because one, maybe you might have been overtly into the church or into the religion to a point that you may have forgotten that even the religion sets boundaries on how far you can be good, okay? How far you can, what do we say? How far you can donate. Even the Bible says, do not donate to a point that you become a beggar, okay? So one of the things I'm saying is, either you missed to see the boundaries or you were always afraid to say no. And these people now, they realize that they took advantage that, oh, she never says no, just go to her, go ask her, how much do you want? Oh, do you want flour? Do you want oil? Just go ask her. She will not say no. That is what they're saying in the background. She never says no. But when they are coming to you, they don't come saying, I know you won't say no. They come and pretend and present themselves as very vulnerable to evoke your feelings. Then they get what they want and they rush away. So one, be bold. When it is no, say no. Do not feel guilty about saying no. Even God sometimes tells us no. You want a car and he says no. He knows when he will give it to you. You want it at this particular time because you feel this car can do for you A, B, C, D, but he says no. He knows that if I bring you this car right now, you will kill so many people in society and the society will even drive you away. So why do I give it to you? It is no, until at such a time when you are out of that place where that your car can kill people. So learn to say no and also learn to have boundaries. Learn even to know whom am I giving what and whom am I not giving what, and who is coming into my close circles and who is not going to join my close circles. Unapologetically, and you don't even have to explain it to the world. It is you. Thank you.
Okay, I don't
Now
know if
back
the
to
Global
you.
President's network is now okay, so I can hand over the baton to him. Dr. Badmus, over to you, sir, if you have.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear
Go
me?
ahead, sir.
All right,
Yes,
thank you
sir,
very
we can
much.
hear you.
Yes, we can hear you,
I
sir.
want everyone to drop their comments, drop it on the chat box. And I want everyone to share this on their other social media platform. And I want to hear from the 001 Mind Surgery Revolution. As you were speaking, we have the grand entrance of the 001. That is Ambassador Dr. Michelle Uko. She's here. Let's hear from her so that we can round up because our time is fast spent. Dr. Uko, are you there? Over to you, ma'am.
I am here, and I am really happy to know that Dennis came back again to share his wealth of information. And again, we want to continue to hear from you, Dennis. And my regards to everyone. I really appreciate how deeply you handle all the subject matters. And again, it is part one. We're looking forward to part two. It's a lot to digest, and it's always information that we can practice immediately in terms of improving our communication skills and also our relationships. So thank you once again, Dennis, for being such a noble Spocky. And my regards to everyone on the platform. Thank you so much. Very, very, very insightful. I've learned a lot, again, as usual, and I'm going to implement it So thank you.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much,
Thank you very
001.
much. That is the voice of the 001 Mind Surgery Revolution of the Global Cluster in the person of Ambassador Dr. Michelle Uko. And it's a lot of sacrifice for her to be on this call today. Thank you very much for all you do to contribute positively to humanity. Having said that, we want to draw the curtain here today. We want everyone um, um, to actually drop their comment, because if I let I know everyone has something to say. I know everyone has something to say about what has happened today, but I think, Sparky Dennis, we're going to have you again next week to do the concluding part of this meeting. We're going to
Okay.
have you again next week, Monday. So please, let's come
Okay.
on time. Let's prepare. We're going to have him and everyone will have opportunity to speak. So thank you very much for coming by. I want to appreciate everyone. And drawing the curtain, I want to ask, who are we? We are a consortium of professionals or aspiring professionals, technocrats or aspiring technocrats, entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs. When we share accurate knowledge of our industry, why? Because it gives us the right power, accurate information, because that is the bridge between where we are and where we ought to be. Accurate connection, because to whom we are connected to determines what we collect. We're not just a social media platform with a marketplace with the best monetization on earth, with the best content. We are the first nation building social media platform on earth. And this is proudly Africa. Our mantra is MAGA, make Africa great again. And in every 54 African nations, we have a different mantra. For instance, in Nigeria is make Africa and Nigeria great again. In Kenya, make Africa and Kenya great again. In Ghana, make Africa and Ghana great again. In Ivory Coast, make Africa and Ivory Coast great again. And that is our mantra. So we are all here putting our heads together to build a beautiful United States of Africa. I will say that tonight, around 5 p.m. West African time and 7 p.m. East African time, we'll be meeting again on survival strategies in the new normal. How you can survive. And Sparky Dennis will be honored to have you on that call again. You understand? So that you can give us some surviving techniques. It will be really a great honor to have everyone that is present here. And we want to ask you to invite 2 or 3 of your friends or 5 of your friends to join us so that we can all discuss what can we do to survive in this current post-COVID situations. Having said that, I want to draw the
Thank you.
curtain. I want to appreciate everyone. I see the 001 um, Global Security Cluster of the Global Clusters and the person of Chief Sir Colonel Michael Gbenga Oshin, retired. Thanks for all you do to contribute positive to humanity. You can see Alayo TV. Thank you for always making it a duty to come onto the Mind Surgery. I can see Clustering Williams. Thank you very much. Your comment is needed. Please drop it here and drop it on all your social media platforms. Your takeaways, we need them. We need people to read from your takeaways. And I can see Ambassador Abosede Cole, you have always been active in all the platforms. Thank you. From the day one we started the Global Clusters, you've been there and you're still there. Thank you very much for all you do to contribute positive to humanity. And I can see Sparky Oye Philip. Thank you very much. Someone call you the 003 ARE cluster of the Global Clusters. Thanks for all you do to contribute positively to humanity. Having said that, I want to draw the curtain. It's a Monday, and I know we all have a lot to do. Sparky Dennis, please drop your number to me because we want to speak after the call today. You understand? Inbox me your number. Thank you very much. Thank you. Dr. Michelle connecting all the way from the United States. It's midnight there, and you still connect. It's a lot of sacrifice, and we're not taking it for granted. Thanks for adding your wisdom, your experience, and everything to build a beautiful federal Republic of Nigeria and a United States of Africa. Thank you very much, and I want to see you in the evening again, and have a fruitful day ahead. Thank you. Bye for now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, everyone. Have a great week ahead as well. Thank you, TikTok family. Thanks for
hello, you asked for my phone contacts?
We shall see you again 5 o'clock for survival strategies in the new normal.